Breaking news in the case of former Congressman George Santos. A federal judge sentencing Santos to 87 months in prison after the Long Island Republican accepted a plea deal to aggravated identity theft and wire fraud charges. Santos expelled from Congress in disgrace after serving nearly a year of his term back in 2023. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles is with us with the very latest. Ryan, what penalties did Santos also receive?
George Santos is facing the maximum penalty that prosecutors were seeking as a result of this plea agreement. He was hoping by pleading guilty to a long list of these crimes that he would be given a degree of leniency by the judge. He was hoping for as little as 2 years in prison, but the judge thought differently and sided with prosecutors and has given him 87 months in prison, which is equivalent to more than 7 years in prison. He's also being forced to pay back more than $300,000 in restitution, almost $380,000 in restitution, and also forfeit more than $200,000. This sentence is far beyond what Santos had hoped, but it's important to keep in mind, Jose, the way that Santos conducted himself after initially agreeing to plead guilty. You know, he had fought back, said that he was going to take this case all the way to a jury at one point, claimed that he was not guilty of any of these crimes against him, despite the overwhelming evidence that prosecutors had. And then he made an abrupt about face, decided to plead guilty tearfully outside the federal courthouse in August of last year, admitted that he was guilty of these crimes, and in many ways throwing himself on the mercy of the court, asking for a lenient sentence. But in the days after that, he used a number of different social media platforms to try and argue that perhaps he wasn't as guilty as federal prosecutors claim, that he was the victim of a witch hunt because of his conservative politics. He used the platform Cameo to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, bragging that he was making more money on Cameo than he ever would have made as a member of Congress. And there was no doubt that the judge took this into consideration, that a part of the reason that they were looking for a more lenient sentence was because that he admitted that he had done something wrong and that he was trying to change his ways and that he felt guilty and felt remorse for the victims that were impacted by his crimes. Clearly, the judge felt that explanation of his remorse and his admitting of his guilt was not authentic. And they have sided with the prosecutors completely with this 87-month jail term.